Morning, Bruce, or good afternoon, I guess, out there in Ottawa.
Yeah,
First of
yeah.
all, let me express my condolences on your Ottawa Senators. According to Money Puck, 0.1% chance of making the playoffs right now. But
Yes, I thought you might bring that up, and sorry about that to all the Ottawa Senator fans out there, but it is what it is. You know, they put on a great show this year, certainly an improved product on the ice, and hope for, a great future, which I'm sure is going to happen next season.
I should just add, though, that as of this morning, Money Puck has my Oilers as the #1 seed to win the Stanley Cup.
Wow, that would be
Just a
fantastic.
hair above Boston and
Yeah.
substantially above Toronto, I should just mention.
Well, that certainly warms my heart to hear that. But I have to say, I would like to see a Canadian club win the Stanley Cup. It'd be the first time since 1993 when Montreal did it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Anyway, we got two of the three in the top three positions, so that's good to know. But to the topic at hand, you're going to be presenting at our CareOp Summit in Mississauga later this month. And so why don't we get right down to it?
Yeah.
Can you give us just a sneak preview as to what you might be sharing with us that'll help us and inspire us to be all better entrepreneurs, rent-to-own specialists, and real estate investors?
Well, Ron, I don't have to tell you, you've known me for a long time now that I've been focusing really for the last 10 years, or actually a little bit more than 10 years, on something I call animation. Animation is just a word I use to describe not Disney animation, but adding new revenue streams to property. And there hasn't been a whole lot of new revenue streams created in real estate for a very long time. So I thought I could focus on that. And some of it might be very, very simple. It could be you buy a bungalow and add a basement apartment. So you have two income streams instead of one. Now, think about that from a rent to own point of view. For the rent to own specialist, if something goes wrong with his or her client and the client can't complete the transaction, you now have two income streams, right? Or two potential income streams, one with a third party and one with your client, who might now be your former client. And so that kind of de-risks the process for the rent to own professional. But from the point of view of the client, it also really helps them because it gives them an independent income, independent of anything else that they may be doing. And you may know this, that Habitat for Humanity, for example, is embracing this kind of philosophy. When they're doing new projects, new builds, they're often adding, a separate rental unit and providing an additional income source.
Well, that sounds awesome. Can't wait to hear more about that. I know you coached me in the past, and there's
I
going to be a
have.
lot for us to learn.
Well, I'm looking
So
forward to it.
knowing that you're not doing this for the remuneration, certainly, what motivates you to travel from Ottawa to Mississauga to share with us these concepts on April 22nd?
Well, I think something else comes out of this whole animation thing, and it applies to commercial property, industrial property, residential property, investment property, and there's a lot to it. But what it actually can do is it can create more interesting towns and cities, more livable, more walkable, more affordable housing. So I think there's a bigger mission here, and it's something I've been very interested in, not just in the last decade or so, but since I did my PhD in urban economics at the Australian National University. It's been a focus of mine. How do you make cities and towns and their economies more livable, more sustainable? And so I think I could contribute to that, and this is a part of that.
Oh, we appreciate that. So you already referred to it, your resume. You've got a PhD in civil engineering. You're the founder of the Ottawa Senators. You've been a university prof, certainly a real estate coach. You are a realtor
Mhm.
broker, I understand.
Yep.
What are you currently? What gigs are you currently in that are keeping you motivated to do this at an age when most people are retiring? I
Yeah.
know you're still
Yeah.
very busy.
Well, we're both getting there, Ron. But the fact of the matter is, my father, O.J. Firestone, told me before he passed away that people should never retire. You might change what you do, but just to sit at home and watch TV, that probably isn't a good idea. I'm a terrible golfer, so I don't. I'm not going to retire and play golf every day. And so when I left the University of Ottawa, where I was the entrepreneur in residence, I remembered my dad's advice, and I said, "Well, what am I going to do for Act Three?" And so what I decided to do was to do some coaching, and I coached people from sort of 30 or 35 years of age to their 70s, but a lot of them are 35 to 45. So I still think I'm 35 to 45. They keep me young. They challenge me. I learn almost as much from them as I do from me. And I've got now 2,500 I call them acolytes or disciples. I've got these young people, in their 30s, 40s, mostly some in their 50s, all across the States and Canada who really have embraced the kind of teachings that I've been espousing, the writing that I've been doing for the last decade or more. And so it's really exciting, and I'm not going to give it up.
Well, that's awesome. Can't wait to hear you in Toronto, and I would encourage everyone come out and listen to Bruce Firestone as well as the other great speakers that we have on the agenda. I'd like to see you all out in Toronto, April 22nd, 9:30 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time in Mississauga.
And where do they go if they want to check it out online?
www.carop.ca.
Thank you, Ron.
Okay, thank you, Bruce.